I'm going to revisit one of our meditations that we did a few weeks ago when I was doing the love challenge. As usual, we're going to start with the breath, just so that we can center ourselves and bring our awareness to where we are right now at this moment. So I'm going to just sit really comfortable in my chair. My feet are flat on the floor, legs not crossed. I'm really just grounded in my seat. And I'm going to take a breath in. So breathing in through my nose and out through my mouth. And I'm just going to take another breath in, and then I'm just going to let that breath go. And just for now, if you can close your eyes, if it's comfortable for you to do so. And I want you to just to imagine for a moment, as we start this visualization, you're going to see around you, about 2 feet outside your body, a cylinder that is clear, totally transparent. You can see through it in all directions. And the temperature inside the cylinder is perfect for you, and you can just breathe normally. And for the moment, I would like you to feel the power of that cylinder enveloping you, keeping you safe, allowing you to let go of any stress or any worries you may have, and bringing you to a place of calm where you are feeling totally relaxed. Just breathe in normally. And concentrating on the cylinder, I want you to see that it stretches downwards into the earth, going deep into the earth. And as you look upwards, you can see that it stretches endlessly upwards through the sky and up into the universe. And as you move, the cylinder moves with you. Even as you walk through crowded places, the cylinder stays with you. And you can release any heaviness or anything that is troubling you down through the cylinder and into the earth. And the earth will receive it from you, taking all those troubles and worries away from you, allowing you to just let it go. So just feel that for a moment, just letting everything go, releasing any stress that you're holding on to down into the earth. And just continue to breathe normally. And when you're ready, bring your awareness above your head and just feel as you look up and through the cylinder that you are really making a deep connection with yourself, and allow whatever you need right now to come to you. Maybe you will feel a sense of peace washing over you, a calmness. Perhaps you'll receive some thoughts, a message from your inner self. Maybe nothing specific, but just rest in this place of your consciousness and feel that connection from high up in the cylinder coming down to you through the cylinder and into the earth, providing you with stability and calm. And just breathe normally. And we're just going to stay with our cylinder for a few moments more, just breathing normally. And when you're ready, just open your eyes and allow the cylinder to dissolve, and you can carry on with your day, knowing that at any time you can return to that process whenever you feel that you need to. So just coming back into the room, give your fingers a little wiggle, a little shake, do a little toe tap on the floor, and just really get comfortable in your seat. And we'll start our tangle. So I'm going to start with 4 dots. Oops. And I'm going to make them obviously darker so that you can see them. But you can just do them nice and lightly. And we'll just breathe in as we draw the line and breathe out as we draw the next line. So breath in and out. And in and out. Okay, so there's our border. And I'm going to start with just a couple of strings. So I'll maybe have one just coming down that way. And I'm going to have another one just actually the same kind of direction, I think, but just on the other side. So we've got 2 little waves basically. And then I'm going to get my pen and I'll start. And we're going to just go straight in with our little Fohbraid tangle that we've just been talking about. So I'm going to do some little arrowheads along this line. And on this side, I'm going to colour the arrowheads in. Okay, and then we're going to evenly space those little triangles. Okay. And just come down. It's like bunting, really, what we're creating. And I'm going to just turn the tile just so that it's comfortable for me as we kind of go along this wavy line. Just so that I can keep the little triangles going in the right direction along this string. And just breathing normally and focusing on the mark that you're making on your tile right now. Okay, and I might just have a little bit of one just there. Okay. So then I'm going to start by connecting my little triangles. So I'll come from the edge of one down to the point of the other. And then I'll go on the right hand side and again come down. And because I know that there would be one that would be coming from here, I'm just going to do a little one off the top of the page. And then I'm going to just work my way down. And you can curve the line if you want. Let's just get a little bit closer so you can see. You can actually curve it. So if you wanted to, you could come in and do a little bit of a curve. Oops, a little bit of a curve. So it doesn't have to be a straight line, just whatever is comfortable for you. Okay, and then we're just going to work our way down the tile, connecting our triangles. Okay. And now I'm going to do my little wings. So I'm starting from the bottom now. And I'm going to, just where the bottom of the triangle is, I'm just going to come out and head down to the border. Just bump and stop. Okay. And then the next one is going to come out, come down, and just go slightly past the triangle and bump in. And obviously, depending on how shaped your wiggly line is, your wings are going to basically go maybe in one side they'll be short, and then on the other you'll have to come down a little bit further to bring your wing in, just because we have to stop when we bump into a line. But that's absolutely fine. So coming down, working our way down past the triangle and then bumping into our line. Okay, so coming down, bumping in, coming down, and bumping in. And as I say, just turn the tile so that it's comfortable for you. Okay, and breathe normally. So I'm just working my way down the tile, just like that. Continuing down, and because I've got a little half of one that's gone off the top of my page, I've got to imagine that actually the wings would come down and just bump into this one. Okay. And on the other side, on this little string here, I'm going to do the same, but this time I'm not going to colour in the triangle. Okay. So I'm going to start and I'm just going to do a triangle that's blank. Okay. And I'm going to work our way down this string. Again, just evenly spacing my triangles. But this time I'm not colouring them in. And that means we're going to have to focus a little bit more when we come to do our kite and when we come to do our wings. We're going to have to really focus on the marks that we're making, because it's not so obvious about where we're going to be doing our strings and things. So it's just getting our brains a little bit more, working a little bit more, a little bit harder. because we'll have to be really careful about where we're going to focus our pen. And also on this one, I'm going to start my little kite a little bit closer in. So just tucking in a little bit and coming down, and tucking in a little bit and coming down this time. Because with this tangle, as I say, many people have drawn it and many people have drawn it in different ways. And this is just another way that you can do it. So we're going to go slightly further in and doing a little triangle. So it looks more like a little arrow now. Okay. So we're going to go slightly in and slightly in. So it's a more of a triangle shape, a pointy triangle that we're creating this time. And it's just to show you the kind of diversity that you can get when you're doing your tangles. But they don't always, even the same tangle on the tile is going to look different. So I'm actually going to go up this one because it's slightly angled. And it's actually easier to go up for me to get it in the right place. So if that's easier for you to do, you can go up from the point and bump into your little triangle. And then again, at the top of the page, I'm going to have one that's just heading off over the border there. So we're still going to have wings coming from the bottom of our triangle. Okay, so we're still going to have little wings that are going to come out and come down and bump into the border. So again, from the bottom of our triangle, we're going to have a little curve coming out on both sides and then coming down. And it just kind of hits below the other triangle that you've drawn. Okay, and I'm moving the tile around just so that it's comfortable for me to do those lines, because my arrows are going in all different shapes and directions. So just so that I get it right, I'm going to move the tile so that it's in the direction that helps me do that next line. Okay. And then you're going to have one that's coming from above that'll be just bumping into your other one. A little bit right. It actually reminds me of those little snakes that you used to get that all kind of move. Just looking at it now, the ones that kind of all wiggle in different directions are kind of hinged. So now I'm going to start sort of adding some decoration onto my Fohbraid. So I'm going to start on this one that we've done here. And all I'm going to do for this one is I'm going to do some little lines in each of those little triangles. Some little lines, just sorry, focus is just need to just be careful that you can see what I'm doing. And then a little bit like what we would do on a flux, I'm going to just do some little decoration on the shell part of this particular one. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to turn it around because it's going to be easier for me. So I'm going to turn it upside down. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to just have a little line coming out from the corner, going up and a little dot. Okay, so basically if I show you on a big one, what I'm doing is I'm going to come out and do a little dot. So just coming out, and I'll do that on both sides. Come out and do a little dot. So a bit like how you decorate flux. So I'm just going to have it coming in out. And if your little braid is curved, then you might want to do a little curved one. But do it however it feels right for you. And I'm just going to go along and add this little line and a little dot on each one. Okay. So that's on that one. And on the other one, I'm actually going to do a slightly different decoration. So on this one, I'm going to be doing a little band stripe on each of the wings. And I'll just do this one and then I'll show you. I'm leaving a little sparkle on it. So I'm just going to do it and then I'll hold it up to show you. Okay, so I'm doing a little sparkle. So I'll show you on the big one so that you can see what I'm doing. I'm basically just doing 2 little lines on each side. And then I'm colouring them in and I'm leaving a sparkle. How we do that, where we just leave a little bit of light. Okay, so doing the same on each side. I'm just colouring in and then leaving a little sparkle. Okay, and I'm just going to work my way down and do that on each of the wings of this. And then I'll just colour it in and leave a little sparkle. Just breathing normally and focusing on the mark that you're making on your paper right now. You look like little Batman masks. I'm just going right down, and I'll have to do a little bit just on the ones that are slightly gone off my sheet. So up at the top as well, I'll have to just add in. Okay. And then I'm just going to do a little aura on these. So I'm just going to come down and leave a reasonable gap. But I just want to aura them because I'm going to do other tangles and I just want to protect them, basically. So just kind of emphasizing where they're where the edge is, basically. So leaving quite a wide berth on those because I just want to really have those like as a focus on the tile, and I think by giving the aura it really kind of makes them stand out. And I'm going to do that on both. So I'll just come down and draw a line that's kind of shadowing the shape and just kind of accentuating where the curves are, just to add a little bit of depth, really. It's just, and then obviously here I'll have to start a little bit further up just because of where my border is. Okay. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just do some little crescent moons. So I'm actually going to do them on my little tangle here. So I'm going to kind of just on a space, I'm just going to colour in a little moon shape. So kind of in my curves, I'm sort of just going to go along and just create a little, and I'm kind of spacing them, I'm not doing it in every curve, I want to space them because I want to kind of have them going off from here, and I don't want to have them really close together. I want to kind of maybe just one down here. Okay. And then, actually, you know, I kind of was thinking crescent moon, and now I'm thinking something different. I'm actually going to make little petals instead. So I'm going to just do some little petals. Do one on there and on there. One on there and on there. So start from the middle. So I'm kind of going more of a floral wave than crescent moon. That happens sometimes. Okay. And then I'm just going to aura that. So I'm going to come in and just draw a little aura around my flowers. I did those two together because they're quite close together. So that's why I kind of did those two. But the others, I'm just going to, I should probably do these two together as well because they're quite close. Just kind of go, yeah, perfect. And then I'm just going to carry on doing auras on these little flowers. Okay, so that's kind of just following my line that I've already created here and just follow that out. So kind of like a crescent moon, but a wibbly wobbly crescent moon rather than our standard kind of rainbow crescent moon. Joining on now, so I'm actually joining up. Just so now I can do an aura of all of them. And just turn your tile so that it's comfortable for you to just continue doing that aura. Got a little sequel going on that one. And I'm just going to keep that going until I bump into the edge of my tile. You kind of end up with just little seagulls at the top. Okay, so that's kind of my little board floral we used. And I think just in the middle here, because I don't really want to take away too much, and I want these faux braids to still kind of be obvious. And if I do something really heavy in the middle, it's going to take away from it. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have mist just falling down. And I'm going to, when you do mist, basically you do a little squiggly line and then some dots. So I'm just going to put in some mist in this space, because I think that if I do mist, I can do some really short ones and just have dots so that I'm not having something really kind of overpowering in the space. So just coming down. So you do a little wiggly line and then some dots. And you can choose how many dots that you have. And you can choose how long your little strings are. Okay, but I'm just coming in and just doing some mist. And I'm just going to keep that going. So just concentrating on the mark that you're making and try and keep them reasonably close together. And this allows for like some really nice white space highlighting along where this lovely faux braid is. Because even when we shade the mist, it's really the shading all takes place where the lines are rather than where the dots are. So it's kind of, I just want it to be more open. Okay, and just carrying that along. Just wiggly line and some dots. Okay, and just until you bump into your border, and then you can stop. And I think just in this space, I'm just going to do some little orbs. So if you wanted to, you could do Lotus pads, if you like, which are little squiggly circles just, and then another kind of circle. And then we're just going to do some dots. And they can be round and around. And then we're just going to come around, do dots on the outside, and then do some dots on the inside. And I'm just going to do a little collection. So they can be any kind of a regular shape, because if you think of lotus pads, they aren't exactly circular. And they'll have different numbers of dots in them as well. Just a few of those just building up on the bottom here. Some kind of bumping into each other. Also behind down here. Got quite a thick pen today. And then I might just do some little fescues coming out of there, just to bring a little bit of organicness into my tile. So I have just a few little fescues coming out of there. Can even have little tiny fescues just on the end here, like little antennae. And then just have a lotus coming up there. Actually, they look like little butterflies or little slugs now that I've done the fescues on them. Okay. So I'm going to just come around and do my border and really just firm it up. So just basically tracing around. And if I bump into something, I'll stop and carry on after that. And then I'm just going to come along and I'm going to do some little tipples on my border. So I'm going to come along, stop, and then do some little tipple. Carry on. Go along. Stop. And then do the same. Okay. So now I'm going to do some shading. And I'm actually going to start with the mist. So, because that's kind of the easiest one to start with, I'm going to just come in And it's actually going to also be kind of shadow from a Fohbraid as well. But I'm going to just come in and add some pencil just like so, and then I'm getting my little paper stumper tortillon and I'm going to blend that out. Okay, so kind of all the liney bit is in the shade, and then the sort of dotty bit is in the open, so you can kind of really see a dark and a light there. And if you need to go back in and just then redefine again along the edge of where the Fohbraid is, just to deepen that, so that we've got the mist, but we've also got this shadow as well from our braid. Okay, so it's just deepening that down to just show that that's creating a little bit of a shadow as well. Okay, so that's really deepened it in. And then I'm going to come along and just also add some pencil below this second Fohbraid. Okay, and I'm also going to come down here and just add a line of, because this is going to be the kind of dark area with all these little sort of organic bits down here. So I'll just come in and just kind of add, probably just really shade this area, because that's sort of a, and then I'll come in. So I'm going to make the base where the border is dark, and also just under the Fohbraid, I'm going to come in and just redefine that shade as specific areas that I want to be darker. Okay, oops, Daisy. Pencil running away with me there. Okay. So that's kind of that little area now. And I've left a little bit of light there, just, you know, so it's not all doom and gloom at the bottom there. And I'll just come along my border and just add a little bit of pencil or two. And for the braid itself, I'm going to just come in and shade on the wings and leave the middle clear. So just a little bit of shade just on the wing here. Okay, and I'll come along and just colour that. Okay, and then I'm just going to do the other side as well. Just going to come in and just come down and just do a little bit of pencil up just on the wing, and I'm going to leave the middle bit to be the lighter bit. Okay, so just a little bit of edge basically, and then leaving that centre bit white. Okay, because I still wanted to be contrast. And then on this side as well, I'll just come in and do a little bit of pencil along the wing edge. But again, I'm going to leave some white so that you can get that contrast. Because I really want this to kind of be the thing that's, you know, focus on the page. So I'm not even going to add pencil this time. I'm just coming in with what's on the tortillon and just defining the edge of the wing. Because I really want this to pop. You need to kind of see that, because these two things are the things that I really want you to see whenever you first look at my tangle. And I think for the flower things, I think I might just kind of get a little sort of trough thing going on here, because I can kind of maybe just deepen down to give it the illusion that there's kind of little bumps here. So it's basically following the lines of where you've kind of, I know I've gone a bit awry in places, but just kind of giving it a sort of tunnel effect. So just by kind of highlighting those little troughs where I was doing my auras will give a 3D effect. So where your little seagulls kind of middles are, just add some pencil lead down on those little troughs. And if you sort of deepen that down, I've actually got one there as well, you'll kind of create what looks like layers. And it's just really to give a dimension. That's why we're doing it, just to add dimension and make it look more 3D. So kind of, you can see already how just adding the shade in there has kind of created these little troughs and valleys and things going off. Mountains and valleys, I should say, rather than troughs and troughs. So we've got that, the illusion that there is little sort of tunnels escaping off from my flowers. Maybe just a little bit of shade in between the flowers themselves, but I don't really want to put too much on the actual flowers because I kind of like how they're sort of beaming out. They're more like sunshine, really. So I'm kind of just liking how they're being left pretty white, to be fair. So just maybe a little bit more in there. And just have a wee look at how that's looking. See, I've left that, that's what I wanted, that nice light. And that means it hasn't taken away at all from my Fohbraid. So by leaving the mist shade in this bit and leaving it white, you know, the focus can then be on this lovely braid that we've done. And by leaving the flowers white, I think it's just, you kind of see them peeking out from behind, because you could easily lose those if you added loads of shade in. So it's really just thinking about, when you're doing your towel, what do you want the person that's looking at it to see first? So I'm kind of really happy with how that's turned out. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hold it at arm's length just to make sure that there's nothing kind of glaringly obvious that I should have done. So just, now you can really see my troughs when you turn it that way around. They're really obvious. So I think I'm happy with that. So I'm just going to put my initials on it. So just find a little spot. So I think just down actually on the frame here, I'm just going to put a PB just on the edge of my frame. Just my initials. And then I'll just pop it over. And today's date is the 3rd, so I'm just going to write my name. And that it's my Zentangle session of the 3rd of March. So the 3rd of the 3rd, 2022. And then I'm going to just write, we had Fohbraid. And then we went for floral waves instead of crescent moon in the end. And we've done some Lotus pads, some Msst, which is MSST, and some Fescu. We did, didn't we? Some Fescus. Okay, So Fohbraid, Floral Waves, the Lotus Pads, Msst and Fescu. Okay, so